And the next session of a thesis, that is introduction. Okay, next session is a introduction. Basically, usually this introduction part will be the first chapter of a thesis. Okay, this introduction part will be the first chapter of a thesis. And when you are writing an introduction part, okay, when you are writing an introduction part of a thesis, that time this introduction part should be interesting. Okay, when you are writing a thesis introduction, that time the introduction part should be interesting. Then only the readers will read the remaining part of your thesis. Okay, your introduction, it is essential to make your this introduction part should be interesting. Okay, that means you have to provide a good beginning for your thesis. Then only the readers will read the remaining part of your thesis. That means the readers will read the rest of your thesis. Okay, so when you are writing a thesis, you have to follow some stages in thesis introduction writing. Okay, in thesis introduction writing, you start with the general idea about the topic. Okay, you start with the general idea about the topic. In that, you have to broadly discuss about your research topic. Okay, you have to give broad discussion about, broadly define your research topic, and in that there also, after that, you have to give some you have to mention some work related then in that regarding that topic. That means you have to provide a review of literature related to that topic, and that also will be the broad sense. Okay, after that, you have to define the term and scope of your research topic. Okay, after that, you have to define the term and scope of the topic. Okay, after that, you have to come somewhat specific. Okay, you have to come somewhat specific, and you have to outline the current situation of your your topic. Okay, what is the current situation of your topic? And after that, you have to evaluate the current situation of your topic. Okay, you have to evaluate the current situation of your topic. Okay, for example, okay, you have to evaluate the current situation of your topic. In that, you can identify the advantages and disadvantages of existing work that is already completed, and from that, you have to identify the gap in that research. Okay, before you, some others also done some work related to your topic. So from that, you can identify what are the disadvantages and advantages of that work. From that, you can identify some areas they may left, without doing the research. So you can identify what are the gap in the research. So from that, you can identify you will get some idea about the gap. They have some ideas about the gap in their research. So after that, you have to identify the importance of your proposed research. Okay, you have to mention what are the importance of your proposed research, and after that, you have to state the research problem or research question. Okay, after that, you have to clearly mention what is the research problem that you have to do in your research. Okay, what is the research problem that you have to specifically mention, and you have to mention the research question or research question. Okay, research problems or research question you have to mention here after that, and after that, you mention the research problem or research question. Okay, after mentioning the specific research problem and research question, you have to mention the research aim and objectives. Okay, you have to mention the research aims. Okay, you have to specifically state the research aim and research objectives. Okay, the objectives also should be specific. Okay, and after that, you have to outline the order of information in the thesis. Okay, in which order you are given the information in your thesis, you have to mention. Okay, outline the order of information that you have provided in the thesis, you have to mention, and after that you have to mention the you have to outline the methodology you are adopted in this thesis. Okay, you have to mention the methodology you have to adopt in this thesis. That means you have to give the methodology. Okay, different methodology you will adopt for answering your research question. That you have to mention briefly in this introduction part. Okay, when you are writing a thesis, the introduction part is essential, and that introduction part should be interesting. Okay, when this introduction part is interesting, that time only the readers will read the thesis fully. Okay, this is about a small description to how to write thesis introduction. I hope you understood this. And the next section of a thesis, that is a review of literature. Okay, next section of a thesis, there will be the review of literature, and usually the review of literature will be the second chapter of a thesis. Okay, usually the review of literature is a second chapter of a thesis, and the review of literature is a survey of scholarly sources on a specific topic. Okay, review of literature is just a survey that give the scholarly sources on a specific topic. Okay, the review of literature is a survey of scholarly sources. Scholarly sources means the already done research in that field, that will be mentioned here in the literature review. Okay, and this review of literature provide an overview of current knowledge. Okay, this review of literature provide an overview of a current knowledge on a topic, and this review of literature allowing you to identify relevant theories related to our topic, and is also helps to identify the methods already used in research or related to our topic. And this review of literature also helps us to identify gaps found in existing research. Okay, this review of literature provides us to get current knowledge on our research topic, and allowing you to identify the relevant theories of this our current our research topic, and that allow us to already use the methods in this research topic, and this also helps to identify the gaps in existing research. Okay, and when you are writing a literature review, it's first you have to find relevant publications. When you are writing a research literature review, that day first you have to identify the relevant publication. Publication means that maybe such as books, journal articles, etc. Sometimes from websites you can get some information about your topic. Okay, and after that, when you have collect the publications, you have to critically analyze that publication, and you have to explain what you found in this publication. Okay, when you are writing a literature review, first you have to find the publications. Okay, first you have to find the publications. Publication may be books, thesis, or articles. Books, thesis, or journals, or journal articles, or other articles that you may find in a website. And after collecting this publication, you have to critically analyze that publication. Okay, critically analyze that publication means critically analyze that research, and you have to explain what you found in that literature. Okay, what you found in that journals or articles you have to mention. Okay, and so there will be some question: what is the need of writing a literature review? Okay, a literature review gives you a chance to demonstrate your familiarity with the topic and scholarly context. Okay, this literature review demonstrate your familiarity with your topic. Okay, this literature review demonstrate your familiarity with your topic and scholarly context. Okay, this literature review demonstrate your familiarity. Okay, how you are familiar with your research topic and scholarly context, and it helps to demonstrate a theoretical framework and methodology for your research. Okay, when you are analyzing, when you are collecting literature review, and when you are analyzing literature review, that will help you to develop theoretical framework and a methodology for your research. Okay, that will help to develop a framework and a methodology to design a methodology for your research, and that will position yourself in relation to other researchers and theorists. Okay, that will position in relation with researchers and theorists. Okay, you can identify your position where you are in that field. You can identify using this literature review. Okay, and this literature review show how your research address a gap. Okay, when you are collecting literature, so you will find what are the researchers, what are the different researchers done research in a field, so you can identify in what gap you have filled by using this research. Okay, and when you are writing a review of literature, okay, when you are writing a review of literature, that time you have to mention the source of an information. Okay, if you are writing a review of literature, you should have to mention the source of an information. Okay, and same also in the introduction also, when you are writing introduction, that time you have to mention source of information that you have taken. Okay, source of information that you have taken for writing introduction, review of literature, any part of the thesis. If you are using information of other person or information taken from other literature, you have to mention the source of that information. Here also in literature review, you have to mention the source of that information. Okay? You have to cite the reference in the review of literature. Okay? You have to cite the reference in review of literature, and I will explain how we will cite reference in thesis, that I will mention in the reference section of this part of the reference section. How we will cite the reference in the text, that I will mention in the reference section of my class. Okay, I hope I understood what is the review of literature, and what the purpose of review of literature, and what is the importance of review of literature. And the next section of a thesis or dissertation is a result part. Okay, the next section of a thesis is a result part. Okay, after doing this methodology part, we will go for result part. Okay, result section is the section where you report the main finding of your research. Okay, research section is the section where you will report the main finding of your research, and this section will be the after the data collection and data analysis. Okay, result writing will start after the data collection and data analysis. Okay, and you have to write all relevant research concisely and objectively in logical manner. Okay, in result section you have to write all relevant result concisely and objectively in logical order. Okay, all results should be reported concisely and objectively in logical order. Okay, in result part you have to report all results in concisely and objectively in logical order. Okay, for writing a result, you can use tables and graphs. Okay, for writing, for reporting your result, you can use graphs and tables and figures. Okay, when you are using graphs and figures, that can easily helps to that will helps to understand the result easily. Okay, when you are using graphs and tables, that will helps to understand this findings easily, and sometimes these results are often together with the discussion. Okay, sometimes this result part and discussion part also jointly presented as a single section, and as told in materials method part, the results should be written in past tense. Okay, results should be written in past tense, and there is no limit for writing for the length of a result. Okay, the length of a result chapter depends on how much data you collected and analyzed. Okay, there is no limit for writing length of result pages, but it depends on how much data you collected and analyzed. But this result should be written concisely as possible. Okay, result should be written concisely as possible. Okay, the length of result section should be depends on how much data you collected and analyzed, but the result part should be concise as possible. And when you are writing result, that time you don't need to add all result. Okay, you don't need to don't need to include all result that you got in your research, but you add only relevant result. Okay, only include relevant result. Okay, you include only result that are relevant to answer your research question. Okay, that you include only result that are relevant to answering your research question, and other result you can include in appendix part. Appendix part you can include. Okay, writing thesis, result part. When you are writing result part, you include relevant. So you include result that is relevant to answer your questions, research question, that only you add in result part. Okay, otherwise this your result part will be disturbed with tables and other figures. So relevant and result only you add here to answer your research question. Okay, result part section is the part where you will report your finding of your research, and the results part should be report concisely and objectively in logical order. Okay, it should be presented in logical order. Okay, this is about the research section of a thesis. I hope you understood. Now we can see the next component or next section of a dissertation, that is a discussion. Okay, next component of or a section of a thesis, that is discussion. Okay, and normally in dissertation, like introduction, review of literature, result, this discussion also present as a chapter. So this discussion will be the fourth chapter. Normally the discussion will be the fourth chapter of a dissertation. Okay, and this dissertation section is the place where you investigate the meaning, importance and relevance of your result. Okay, after doing your research and after doing your research, you will get some result. So in this section part, you will investigate the meaning of your result and the importance of your result and relevance of your result. Okay, in this discussion part, you will investigate the meaning of your result, importance of result and relevance of your result. Okay, and when you are writing discussion part, you should focus on explaining and evaluating your result. Okay, when you're writing PhD the thesis discussion part, that you should focus on explaining and evaluating your research in discussion part. And discussion should show, okay, when you are writing discussion, that is discussion should show how your result is related to review of literature and your research question. Okay, in this discussion part, you also have to mention how your result is related to the previous works, that means review of literature, and how related to your research question. So when you are doing a research, there will be some research question. Okay, there will be some research question. So you have to answer that research question by doing research. So in this discussion part, you have to relate your result with your research question. Okay, and when you are writing a discussion part, you should mainly focus 4 key elements. Okay, when you are writing a discussion part, you should follow mainly 4 key elements. Okay, first one is interpretation. That means, what do the result mean? Okay, what do the result mean? That means what this result mean? Okay, and the second one is, you have to go for you have to mention the implication. Okay, implication, that means you have to mention why do the result matter. Okay, why do the result matter? Okay, you will get result, so you have to mention why this result is matter. Okay, why this result is important, you have to mention. And after that, you have to mention limitation of your study. Okay, limitation of your study. So when you are doing research, that time you will not get 100% of result on your study. So after doing getting result only, you will know that there will be some limitation. So you have to identify that limitation, and you should mention what are the limitation of this study. Okay, that means limitation means what can't the result tell us. Okay, some part the result can't give the answer to our research question sometime. Okay, and that you have to mention. And next, fourth one is a recommendation. Okay, you have to give a recommendation. Recommendation means what action should be taken as follows this result. Okay, a result, and what scientific studies should needed as for this result. Okay, depending as per the result of this study, what practical action is needed, that we have to mention in the discussion part. And what scientific study is needed, that also you have to mention in the discussion part. Okay, and as we told, sometimes the result and discussion part should be combined into one chapter. Okay, this is the discussion part. Okay, discussion part is a normally when we are writing discussion, we'll investigate the meaning and importance of and relevance of your result by comparing our result with previous studies. Okay, previous studies and related with our research. Okay, this is discussion. These are things you have to take care when you are writing a PhD thesis discussion. And next section or component of a thesis or dissertation, that is a conclusions. Okay, next section of a thesis or dissertation is a conclusion, and this conclusion is presented in a thesis as a chapter. Okay, this conclusion is present in a thesis as a chapter, and normally this conclusion is the fourth chapter of a thesis. That means introduction will be the first, and review of literature is the second, and result will be the third, and fourth will be the discussion. Conclusion will be the fifth chapter of a dissertation. Okay, and conclusion is the part the researcher will conclude his research. Okay, in the conclusion part, a researcher will conclude his research, and the conclusion part should be concise and attractive. Okay, the conclusion part should be concise and attractive, And the aim of a conclusion part of a dissertation is that conclusion part leave a reader with a clear understanding of your main discovery and or argument that your research has put forward or advanced. Okay, the main aim of a dissertation, the conclusion part of a dissertation is that conclusion part will give a clear understanding of the main discovery of your research or the argument that your research has put forward. Okay, and its main purpose of a conclusion are that clearly state the answer to the main research question. Okay, conclusion will clearly state the clearly state the answer to your main research question, and conclusion part also summarize and reflect on the research. Okay, this conclusion part will summarize your research and reflect on the research, and its conclusion parts also make recommendation for future work on the topic. Okay, this conclusion part will recommend what work have to be done in future related to this topic, and is the conclusion part show what new knowledge you have contributed. Okay, in conclusion part it will also helps to express what new knowledge has you have contributed. That means what you have newly found by doing this research, that also mentioned in the conclusion part. Okay, and this conclusion part should be shorter. Okay, conclusion part should be shorter, and it should be more general than discussion. Okay, should be more general than discussion. Okay, this is about conclusion. Okay, the conclusion part is the part a researcher will conclude his research. Okay, the conclusion part is the section there a researcher will conclude his research, and that should be concise and attractive. So then only a reader can clearly understand the main discovery of your research and or the argument that your research has advanced or put forward. Okay, this is about the conclusion part of a dissertation. I hope you understood. And now we can see the next section or component of a dissertation, that is reference section. Okay, that is reference section. Okay, before going to the reference section, I will explain how we'll cite a reference in a text. Okay, when I'm explaining about introduction, review of literature, methodology, discussion part. Okay, we will add some information that is taken from other sources. Okay, some information that is taken from other sources. Okay, when you are taking some ideas, concept, text, data from others' work, that time you should cite the reference in the text. Okay, that time you should cite the reference in the text. Text means in introduction, review, methodology and discussion, that will take information from other sources. So you have to mention that source from where you are taken this information. So when we are taken a information from a article or book that is written by a single author. Okay, when this article or book or that chapter is written by a single author, that time you have to give his surname and followed by his date of publication. Okay, so year of publication. Okay, you have to give the year of publication in the text. You can see this one single author publication. The journal is the case single author case. There is a environmental pollution is a major issue. Okay, the bracket you can see Mashur 2014. So sometime we can take this surname outside, because you can say that environmental pollution is a major issue according to Mashur. Then that time you have to give the date, the year only in the bracket. Okay, and when you are citing double author reference, okay, that time you have to give surname of both authors, Here you can see Mashur and Shilly in the 2014. Okay, Mashur and Shilly in 2014. And if it is a more than two authors, that time you have to give the first author surname, then after that you have to give et al. And followed by the date of year of publication. Okay, the year of publication you have to give. That means when you are taking a reference, when you are taking any information or text or concept or ideas from other sources, that time you should have to cite a reference of that source. Okay, that citing I have mentioned here, how this reference is cited in a text. Now we can come to the reference section. Okay, now we can come to the reference section. In reference section, we'll list all the reference cited in the text. Okay, in reference section we'll list all reference cited in the text. Okay, that means you have to mention all reference cited in the text in the reference section. Okay, and list all reference in a alphabetical order by using a single format or for each type of material. Okay, there is different format is there. APF format is there, MLA format is there, Chicago format, Terabian format, IEEE format. A different format of reference citation is there. So when you are going for preparing a reference section, you should follow a single format. Okay, you should follow a single format, and in that reference section you should list out all the reference cited in the text. Okay, all reference cited in the text. For example, you can see here one example is the Mashur. Okay, Mashur, date of year is 2014, and after that title of that thesis. Title of that research paper, carbohydrate amino acid composition, a capsule of the and the journal name is after that journal name is came, and after that volume name is there, and after that page number is there. This is the format. First, when you are listing the reference in a reference section, this is a one format of a different format is there. This is one format I have seen given in this. This slide, there is one format is that first you have to give the that researcher name, and after that you have to give the year of publication, and you have to give the title of that article, and after that you have to give the name of the journal that is publishing, and after that you have to give the volume number, and after that you have to give the page number of that article. Okay, and after that I have given that when we are taking information from the website, that one format is there, and another one book, when you are taking information from book, that format also is given in the slide. Okay, in the reference section we will list out all reference that is cited in the text. Okay, and there is so many format is there for citing reference, for list out in citing reference in a dissertation or thesis, and you have to follow a single format for writing the reference section, and you will get so many softwares also for aligning this reference part. Okay, I hope you understood this. This is a reference section. Now we can see the last section or last component of a dissertation, that is appendix part. Okay, that is the appendix part. In appendix part, we will add additional information in dissertation. Okay, additional information in a dissertation. Okay, the main body of a dissertation only provide clear and concise information that support your argument. Okay, in the main body of a dissertation, we will add only clear and concise information to support our argument of a research, and this appendix part can provide additional or further information to readers to get a clear understanding about our research. Okay, to clear understanding about our research. Okay, when you are adding all less significant and significant information in the citation main text, that time that will disrupt our text. So we'll take the less significant result into the appendix part. So the text will be clearly concise, and that will be clear and concise. Okay, now we can see what are the items that can be included. We can include in a appendix part. Okay, what are the items that can be included in the appendix part? So we can include less significant result. Okay, less significant result we can include in the this appendix part. So significant result should be in the result part. Then only it will support our argument. Then only readers can clearly understand that our result is supporting the argument. And less significant result we can add here, such as detailed description of your sample. If you are taking any sample, then we can add the detailed description of the sample in the appendix part. And we can add further information on surveys, interviews, etc. in this appendix part. That means further information on surveys means that the form of survey, like that we can add in the appendix part. And copies of relevant letters and forms. Copies of relevant letters and form we can add in the appendix part. And table figures and other graphics also we can add in the appendix part. Okay, we can add in the appendix part. Okay, that means this appendix part will provide additional information to the authors. Okay, in the result part we'll get only significant result in the result part. Okay, but in the case appendix we will get additional information, that means less significant result or such we can include in the appendix. That means this appendix part is a useful tool for a researcher to share his additional or further information to the readers. So this is the appendix part. So this is the structure of a thesis. Okay, we have seen different components or sections that is included in the thesis. So I hope you understood this class. Thank you for listening.